Hello, this is Harmonic Sonics here with my Nordwave 2 and a percussion performance I made with all 4 layers engaged using kick, hi-hat, snare with open and closed varieties and a high and a ride sound on layer D, all with the hold engaged here to the left. And the reason I'm making this video is to answer a couple questions I had with myself and seen other posts about online about how to get the pattern that I'm using and the gate version of the arpeggiator to be stored as memory. I found out that basically every new performance you make from A through O has it recalled after you edit it per performance. I'm trying to explain this right because these are called, it says program here, but so any letter followed by a number, any of these presets that are here, any of these, right? That's what I mean. So you go into the pattern. Well, first let me make sure I'm on the correct layer that has the gate. I made a pattern here. This is a variety of preset number 10. There's 28 factory loaded sequence patterns, arpeggiator patterns rather, in the Nordwave 2. And you can create your own, but it doesn't get remembered if you change the letter number combo, whatever the things are, performance that you're on. Most of my sets call these performances, but I don't know what that's called on Wave 2. I sort of forgot. But go back to layer B where I have the pattern gate changed here. So I will prove this. I will scroll to preset number 10, and the version I did has a shorter gate length on the third. So after you see preset 1, you go further to the left and it's not there. It doesn't show it. You can't find it, right? But it's weird. The behavior is strange. So I'll have to go out of the patch and go back into it again. Again, layer B, pattern. The shortened gate is visible now. For some reason, that's what it does. If I were to go, see, I didn't use a pattern here. I did use a pattern here. So it remembers it, then I dial away from it, then I dial back to it. There it is. It does remember it. Okay, so let's try it again here. It remembers it. I dial forward, then back again. It remembers it. But if I go really fast, it remembers it. Okay, so it does remember it. So that's basically what's happening with that. Oh, I was on layer D. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, so you can edit the pattern how you want. But here, it's like this. But if I go to another preset, let's say I want the pattern to be on, I'll go to pattern 10, there it is, but if I go past to the left, so the way I'm finding these is I rotate before the first preset number says 1, and then it says blank. There's the one that was last put in on that performance when you saved the sounds using the store button. That's what it remembers, being there. And it might be whatever you were using, but it doesn't show it here. It only shows it on the sound you made, on the layer you made specifically, right? That doesn't matter on layer A. Anyway, I'll play the pattern I made now so you can hear what I'm talking about. This is the hi-hat and the snare and the kick. And I made a split, so on the right I'll have the ride. I'll play that now. Sounds more like a whistle almost. go through each of these. The kick. I'm going to move the camera over because I'm using my primitive phone. It's funny to call it primitive now. But yeah. So the way I'm doing this, just go through some of the sound design. Oscillator pitch sawed down on the LFO. Clocked rate master click. I think that's 1/4 note. And the pitch on the mod envelope, oscillator mod envelope, is bending the pitch downward. And of course I have a shape sine wave, 2 octaves down. And on the octave shift key, that's 1 below, so it sounds kind of good. The transient is active on the attack phase. I'm on the LP12, which is the 12 dB low pass. And yeah, the knobs, of course, aren't what I made them as, because I wish there was a way to turn the knob to find out where it was without affecting where it is on the knob, but I haven't figured out if that's possible or how to do that. But yeah, it sounds normal. And that's the kick. Here is the snare, the hi-hat layer rather. So this uses a couple things like the pattern I talked about, the modified 10 pattern. There's also a tremolo. I added tremolo to it, also on master click. And I'm using a low and high pass combo with maximum drive, maximum key tracking, and a little bit of effects. That's the tremolo effect, yeah. And the filter is a sawed down filter. It almost sounds like an open hi-hat when you hit the pedal on the hi-hat to close it at the end. Okay, that's that layer. So here is the snare, that was white noise. This is pink noise. The snare sound was cool. I used a high pass with maximum drive and key tracking on the filter envelope. I think the envelope amount was somewhere around here in the middle. But I added distortion with parametric equalizing and a ring modulator, which is, you don't think ring mod will do a lot to noise, but it did something. Trying not to pan the phone around too much, make people ill, but that's not on purpose. Just the setup I have is very annoying to use my interface for this synth because it's not in the same room as my computer. That's actually the reason most of the videos you see up until now are clunky and bad, and that's fine. Learn more, improve more, but right now this is what I got. So yeah, it's pink noise. I am using a pattern here on the 2 and 4s. So if I add more resonance, very weird. So I don't remember how that is supposed to sound. So I'll just come back to it. And the ride. So I have the ring mod rate going to the mod wheel. To sort of like mimic the way the bell on a ride sounds, but it doesn't really sound like a real instrument there. I do have drum samples in here, but I decided to, for simplicity's sake, to use noise and see what I could do with ring modulation on noise, because I know it can do some stuff. Oh yeah, I'm using a high pass for this one. Anyway, whole sound. Thanks for watching.